The European Union and the United States share a deep and interconnected trade relationship. It is a cornerstone of the global economy. This partnership has fostered growth, innovation, and prosperity for decades. However, the return of Donald Trump to the White House has introduced a period of uncertainty and tension. His America First agenda prioritizes protectionist measures and challenges the established global trade order. This approach has raised concerns within the EU, threatening to disrupt the delicate balance of transatlantic trade. The significance of EU-US trade cannot be overstated. It represents a substantial portion of global commerce. Millions of jobs on both sides of the Atlantic depend on this interconnectedness. The two economies are deeply intertwined. Supply chains crisscross the Atlantic, and businesses rely on the smooth flow of goods and services. This deep integration makes any disruption a serious concern for businesses and policymakers alike. The stakes are high. The EU has been clear in its response to Trump's trade policies. It seeks to uphold the rules-based international trading system. The EU advocates for free and fair trade. It rejects protectionist measures that could harm both economies. However, the EU also recognizes the need to protect its interests. It is prepared to take countermeasures if necessary. The EU's approach is two-pronged. It seeks dialogue and cooperation, yet it is ready to defend its interests against unfair trade practices. The EU is acutely aware of the challenges posed by Trump's unpredictable approach to trade. There is a sense of caution. The EU is determined to protect its industries and workers from potential harm. However, there is also a recognition that dialogue and cooperation remain essential. The EU seeks to find common ground where possible. It aims to minimize the negative impact of trade disputes on both sides. The EU's strategy is one of preparedness and pragmatism. The EU, under the leadership of European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, has adopted a multifaceted approach to the challenges posed by Trump's trade policies. Von der Leyen has repeatedly emphasized the need for the EU to remain prepared, pragmatic, and united. This approach underscores the EU's determination to engage with the US, but also to stand firm in defending its interests. Pragmatism is a cornerstone of the EU's strategy. The EU recognizes that confrontation is not always the most effective solution. Instead, it seeks to engage with the US constructively, seeking mutually beneficial outcomes. This approach involves open dialogue, exploring areas of common ground, and negotiating solutions that address the concerns of both sides. The EU aims to de-escalate tensions and find workable compromises. Early engagement is another key element of the EU's response. The EU understands the importance of addressing potential trade disputes before they escalate into full-blown crises. By engaging with the US early on, the EU seeks to foster understanding, address concerns, and find common ground. This proactive approach aims to prevent misunderstandings and foster a more constructive dialogue. However, the EU's pragmatism does not equate to weakness. The EU has made it clear that it will not hesitate to defend its interests if necessary. It is prepared to take countermeasures against any unfair trade practices. The EU's commitment to a rules-based trading system is unwavering. It will not stand idly by if those rules are violated. The EU's approach is a delicate balancing act, seeking cooperation while remaining prepared to defend its interests. The EU recognizes that a united front is essential when dealing with the US on trade. A divided Europe would weaken its negotiating position and potentially embolden protectionist forces. Therefore, the EU has emphasized the need for its member states to present a cohesive and coordinated stance in trade negotiations with the US. Unity is strength in the realm of international trade. This emphasis on unity is particularly crucial given the diverse range of perspectives within the EU. While there is a broad consensus on the importance of free and fair trade, individual member states have their own specific interests and sensitivities. Some countries might be more inclined towards appeasement, while others might favor a more confrontational approach. The EU's challenge is to bridge these differences and forge a common position. The EU's efforts to maintain a united front have been tested at times. For instance, Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban has expressed admiration for Trump's leadership, and suggested that his personal relationship with the US president could pave the way for favorable trade deals. Such statements, while not representative of the entire EU, highlight the potential for discord within the bloc. Despite these challenges, the EU has largely succeeded in presenting a united front on trade with the US. The European Commission, with its mandate to negotiate trade agreements on behalf of the entire bloc, has played a pivotal role in this regard. By coordinating negotiations and ensuring that all member states have a voice in the process, the EU has been able to maintain a relatively cohesive stance. This unity is crucial for the EU's credibility and leverage in trade negotiations.